Nobody needs to know I closed anything. We'll just keep that quiet. Just between us.
Right, my voice is kind of gone. I woke up with it. Not with it. I just woke up with it. And it's like, don't wish that upon me. Alright, here we go. Big small child. Roy Alvey, Sean Babbitt as a Kelly Williams. Charlie Bagg, Les Bailey, Robert Bassett, Ileana. Katrina Benz, Andy Bierdenstrand, Bob Holden, Marcy Bouchard, Dave Bowman, Carl Brandt, Victoria Briggs, Dave Brown a couple times, Deb Casello, Kristen Cole, Ann Connors, Kevin Cross, Brett DeWan, Matt Dimmick, Kier Dreyer, Chris Russo, maybe one time, Ed Erickson, Jonna Bendit. Perfect. Pat Kavinsky, Kelly Harris, Craig Hayden, Elizabeth Hockenadel. You're coming up, so be careful. BJ Hornack, Vicky Hudson, Butch Jenks.
Your vacation has lost your edge. You gotta practice.
Patrick James, Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson, his first one.
Eric Johnson got his first check. I'm so excited.
Felisa, Buster Locke, Kylie Lucas, Brian Lucas, Adam Lucero, Amy McElroy, Carrie McMaster, Christy Mock, Reed Moore.
I'm sorry.
3 years, Holly Myers, Nolan Dorn, Abigail Owens, Amy Peltier, Quincy Peterson, Dan Potts, Evan Powell, Brittany Radford, Jacob Seabury, Brian Sherburne, Doug Simpson, Lindsay Sizemore, Stuart Smith, Jennifer Salkup. Jennifer Toomer, Dar Walden.
Expecting that to go that way. Okay, you guys, holy cow, we closed out February. It's just amazing what you did. So let's go through and look at exactly what you did.
Watch out!
Another one. Oh, get
Seriously!
I did. I thought you were looking at me. I didn't mean to catch you in the face. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm really happy right now.
It was a paycheck. Okay, written awards. Michael Schwartz, $525,000 in written volume. Chris Moses. Boy, that was off. We are a bunch of.
It's always the first one.
Okay, it takes us a while to get our flow. Kurt Moses, $594. There you go. Clinton Peterson, $672,400. Benjamin Hornack, $680,900. The Kylie Lucas team, $681,750. Amy Mackey Hornack, $734,800. Ed Erickson team, $807,342. Joe Lowndes, $814,000. Beth Simpson and Company, $839,000. Marcy Bouchard, $1,009,000. Felisa, $1,032,000. Christina Gomez, $1,044,900. Chris Drusido, $1,074,000. Jennifer Stocka, $1,174,400. Jacob Sebring, $1,214,900.
Just an ice pack.
Just a nice Paul Maker's team, $1,304,850. Nate Bear, $1,395,000. Kareem Muir and Company wrote $1,451,600. Bob Olney, $1,451,000. This is in 28 days, and most of y'all were gone for a week as well, which is crazy. Kira Dreyer, $1,625,900. Les Bailey and Associates, $1,834,700. Lorna Cochran, $1,900,000. Get a nice deal. Jonah Findich, $1,965,700. Kevin Cross and Associates with nothing thrown, $2,053,400. Dar Walden team, $2,155,700. Vicki Hudson had a great written month, 2,213,412. The Matt Demick team, 2,266,000. Diet Owen and Company, Diet is in the Philippines, by the way, 2,349,900.
Nice.
Three More Group wrote 2,566,200. Alaska Real Estate Team wrote 3,182,600. The Unity Home Group, formerly known as Alaska Real Estate Experts, wrote 3,630,921. Kristen Cole Team wrote 3,875,149. And our new player on the scene, top written volume for the month of February, Cuesta Lock, 4,039,800.
Nice work.
Yeah, very nicely done. Okay, so let's get into what you got paid on, because that's even better. Closed volume, Alaska Real Estate Team, 754,592. Order, Mike Schwartz, 525. Randy Winnington, 545. Bob Bolding, 597, 400. Beth Simpson, 695, 975. Kylie Lucas team, 716,750. I already did that one. We have two. Diet Owen, 788,500. Joe Lowndes, 814,000. Katrina Benton, Come Home Anchorage, 820,900. Kara Dreyer closed 832,900. Cream Urine Company closed 898,750. Lisa closed 964,000. Clinton Peterson closed 970,400. Marcy Bouchard closed 1,009,000. The Ed Erickson team closed 1,016,342. John Fendage 1,017,800. Chris Drusido, 1,074,000. The Reed Moore Group closed 1,135,250. Jacob Sebring closed 1,214,900. Kathleen Poulin had a great closed month, 1,377,900. Nate Bear should be here in about 15 minutes, 1,395,900. Vicki Hudson, $1,449,008. 8 is very important. Les Bailey and Associates, $1,834,700. Lorna Cochran, $1.9 million. The Dora Walden team closed $1,995,700. The Matt Demick team closed $2,149,000. Kevin Cross and Associates closed $2,417,750. Unity Home Group closed $2,567,842. And top closed volume for the month of February, $4,075,149. Kristen Cole team. So, you guys did awesome. How's the market feel?
Mega awesome.
It's crazy.
Are you guys like just running 100 miles an hour? Insane? Yeah?
It's awesome.
Well, your numbers showed it. So let's look at what we did in February. Again, the reason we go through the market center numbers is to give you a snapshot of the overall market center, or the overall market, and also to teach you how to track your numbers as well. So agent count I know it. Okay, I can't read my own writing. February of 2012, we were at 222. February 2013, we are back at 248. Nice. Our closed, so that's up 12%. Here's where it gets fun. Closed units. Last year in February, you guys closed 159 units. This year in February, you closed 189. That is up 20%. Closed volume. Last year you closed 39,609,192.
That was a month. You've gotten a lot better at those big numbers.
I'm doing better at spelling them out. It's time on task, pretty much. Nice.
Wow.
You guys closed 46,122,284. That is a 16% increase in closed volume. Okay, written units. This is awesome. Anybody want to guess how many units you guys wrote last year or this month?
243.
243?
That's a good guess.
210? I'm just gonna stop because Dave pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
242.
Whoa.
You guys, your written units are up.
Holy crap.
That's 28 days with 102 of you gone. That's incredible production. Your written volume, last year, 39,501,377. This year,
Good lord. Great googly moogly.
yeah. So your written volume is up 58%.
So last year we wrote just slightly under what we closed. This year we wrote way over what we closed.
So profit share, this is my favorite part. Last year we profit shared $4,052 in February, which we were really excited about. Sorry about that. This year,
Wow.
That's a 5. That's a 5.
oh, thank you, MCA, 25,157. That's up 500%.
That's what she has memorized.
So, that's pretty great stuff. So you guys, is this what your business feels like? Because I keep hearing from you, I'm getting text messages, this is my best first quarter ever. This first quarter is so different than the other first quarters. What are you seeing? What are you feeling? Talk to me, Goose.
People are moving. Sellers are selling, buyers are buying. And things are going fast.
How's the inventory?
Still low, but getting better.
Are you seeing it pick up a little bit?
You better get them when they first come on or they're gone.
Did you guys see Amy Mackey posted something on Facebook the other day? It was a picture of her waiting, I think Sunday, waiting for my client, they better write an offer now, basically is what the short version of it. Okay, well that being said, let me give you a quick heads up as to what we've got coming on the training calendar, and then we're gonna dive into some teaching for a little bit. First of all, how many of you have come to Keller Williams within the last maybe, let's say 6 months or so? There's several of you. You guys get the TMO, and a lot of you get it on your email, and I know I've had several people say, that looks really cool, I have no idea what it is, but thank you for sending it to me. So next Tuesday, from 2 to 3, just an hour class, I'm gonna do a TMO class, how to best use the TMO. The big thing we're gonna hammer on is number one, converting your leads off of your listings with the TMO, but secondly, for those of you that are doing internet lead generation, the TMO can be the difference between you getting that lead and someone else. Because understand that if they're registering on Katrina's site, they're also registering on everybody else's as well. So how do you place yourself head and shoulders against the competition? And I think the TMO is a critical piece of that. So we're going to go through that. If you haven't taken a TMO class in a long time, it'll be a great refresher. Just kind of what does this look like? What is it for? Definitely one to get to. And then on the 14th, which is next Thursday from 1 to 4, I'm going to be doing seller mastery and bulletproofing your transactions. So I know what a lot of you guys are facing, at least this is the feedback I'm getting. We can get the buyer in contract, keeping the deal together is still really, buyers will still walk. Still a lot of DFTs, which my gut is that will begin to drop, because sooner or later they're going to have to stay engaged because there's just no other options. But in the meantime, you guys are really having to bulletproof your transactions. We're going to talk about listing objections because they've changed now, right? What are you facing now? What's your objections you're facing today that you were not facing last year?
If the market's so good,
Why do I need you? Why
yeah.
Cut your commission. Why do I need you? Why can't I FSBO? You know, we're back to the 2003 and 2004 listing objections. And she's here. I look so good. Yeah, so Seller Mastery will be next Thursday from 1 to 4. By the way, that's a great class to invite your friends to. The TMO class, I mean, feel free to invite people from other companies. They don't have the tool. So they may go, what is this? But they also may go, wow, I would love to be there to get that tool. And then one other thing that I noticed today on the KWRI technology email that you all receive, and most of you probably delete when you get it or don't look at it. For those of you who want, there is a webinar at 11 a.m. on Thursday about managing your touches with your database. Might be worth your time to watch as well, or have your assistant watch it if you need to, because this will give you a I believe they're an hour. Those webinars are about an hour. How to really effectively use that database, manage your touch, add clients, delete clients, put them on different campaigns, take them off campaigns. Definitely worth your time to watch.
That was at 11?
That is at, yeah, it's 11 a.m. Alaska time. If you look at the email, it'll say 2 Central Time, but I didn't want to confuse you because I get confused on the time zone changes. Okay, so any other things? Oh, Recruit Select, April 10th and 11th. Okay. It will be $285, sorry. We are capping the room because we're going to have it on site, which means we cannot house more than 30 people. Preference will be given to first timers. And an audit fee is $100. It's $100. Now remember, auditing is if you have taken the full Recruit Select 2-day version, not the light version, and you have to bring your own materials. You're not given new materials. That's why you get the reduced rate. Matt Fedek, you can Facebook him, is coming up. We're flying him up to teach it. DR is going to come in May, but the truth is I have too many people just waiting, like dying to take this class. So we're willing to go ahead and spend the money and get somebody else up here to get it faster. Yes?
What are the classes that you're talking about?
So Recruit Select is, I tell you, somebody give a synopsis of Recruit. I'd love to hear how you guys interpret it. What is Recruit Select? Kevin?
Recruit Select is how
You're still
to...
speaking to me, thank you.
Yeah, Recruit Select is how to identify and qualify top-notch talent for your team. Realizing that it's not that a person is typically bad at a job, it's that that person is not the right fit for that position. So it's how to identify the characteristics and the traits of whatever that position is, whether it's administrative assistant, buyer's agent, lead listing specialist, CEO for your company, that we all have strengths and weaknesses given our personalities, our attitudes, what motivates us, and how to make sure you pick the right person the first time.
Exactly, exactly. So how to identify, I like what you said, identify and find talent, number one. And then it's really the hiring process. It's an 11-step process to hire someone correctly. And to bulletproof your odds of making a bad hire. Anybody in this room ever made a bad hire? Can I raise both hands? It costs you, right? It costs you financially, it costs you in time, it costs you all over the place. So this is not necessarily, it's not a guarantee that you won't make a bad hire, although we find that most people that still do skip steps of the process.
Well,
Yeah.
they stress the slow to hire, quick to fire, and how to recognize those painful indications that that individual is not the right fit so that you adjust course quickly.
Exactly. And understand this is part of a 3-part series. So the next class will be
Action training.
action training, which is, okay, so now you've identified talent, you've hired them, how do you train them and get them into production, which is what we all really excel at, training. And then the last piece is lead and motivate. So yes, now I've got somebody, they're trained, they're functioning, how do I continue to motivate them going forward, okay? So we'll have the link, that is a pre-register. We'll have the link here soon. We're waiting on that to be created by our region. Once we have it, we'll push it out to you guys. If for some reason you don't make it into the class, we still have DR scheduled to come again in May. But I really do want to let people that haven't taken it yet, they've got to get it. So get signed up fast. Yes?
Not that I was daydreaming, so when and where can we register?
When we have the link from the region, we'll send it out.
Okay.
So we've requested it. It'll be here soon-ish.
So DR is going to teach the Recruit Select
As well.
next piece.
Yeah. He's already on the schedule, he's already booked, so I'm gonna have it basically twice in 2 months. We're gonna go from nothing for 5. So really wanna kind of wanna move into talking a little bit of a teaching time for now. How many of you have finished the one thing? Start to finish the book. Okay. If you haven't, you gotta block some time out to read it. Here's the challenge that I'm finding, and I'd love your feedback on this. It's kind of like your big why. When I ask people what your big why is, a lot of times the face just kind of goes blank and they go, well, I don't really know. I kind of know, but I don't know. Is anybody, I mean, it's okay, safe environment. Has anybody felt that way in trying to identify your big why?
Well, it has. It took me 46 years.
Took me 3 years, yeah. I mean, it's a challenging conversation, and so what I've tried to do with the big why is give you some tips to help you sort of hone it down and figure out what your big why is. So anybody want to share what's the question when you come and sit with me and you say, I'm struggling with figuring out my big why, what is it that I tell you to do?
What would you want people to think about you when you're gone?
What would you want someone to say at your funeral? If they can only say 3 to 4 things about you, I know it's morbid, but if they can only say 3 to 4 things about you, what would those things be? That's typically your big why, because that's the legacy you want to leave. Here's what why are you laughing?
Because I was thinking that when I'm gone, you can flush my ashes down the toilet because my body is on loan and I'm in heaven. That's
Amen.
So the one thing, what I'm finding is people are facing the same challenge. I don't really know what my one thing is exactly. I'm trying to work through this. Like I get the concept, but I haven't necessarily identified my one thing. So I found an exercise that I think is helpful, and I've asked Jacob to be my guinea pig today. So please come forward, Jacob.
Can't do it from here?
No, I have a seat right here for you.
Great nickname for Jacob.
Guinea pig?
Guinea pig.
He's now officially guinea pig.
Yeah.
You need another cookie?
He's been waiting here for years.
I'm good.
So really where this kind of thought process originated from is my coach last Wednesday on my coaching call, he said your homework is to go to page 114 of the one thing and you need to do the exercise. And so I go, okay, and I write it down. And then I went to page 114 and I went, oh crap, I don't know that I could do this. So does anybody know what's on page 114? What's on page 114?
The bubbles.
All the circles.
Yeah, not even remotely close to a circle. What do the 7 circles represent?
Spiritual, family, business, exercise, is that it? Health.
Friends.
Health, that's right.
Friends.
Relationships. And job.
Yeah.
So these are the 7 areas of your life that you need to find your one thing in. Now, thankfully, in the book, it gives you questions to work through. So it doesn't just say, okay, go figure out your one thing spiritually or your one thing job. It helps you kind of work it down and figure it out. It becomes, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are, is anybody I guess maybe you don't have to raise your hands if you don't want to, but is anybody doing the success list instead of a to-do list right now? What are you finding?
I'm stating 20%.
Incredibly productive. It's so nice to look at that list and see it's, it's not huge and overwhelming and like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get through this whole thing. But you got to figure out your one thing first. So I'm just going to work through this exercise with Jacob. Guys, this is something you can do yourself. You can do it with a friend. I say it's better to do it with someone instead of asking yourself internally the questions. I just think your brain works better that way. But basically, so how do we drill it down for Jacob business-wise what his one thing is? You can kind of take some guesses, but do you know whether that is actually really accurate or not? Sorry, I get distracted.
Squirrel.
Okay, so Jacob, what would you say your big goal is in your business?
For your business, let's say do 10 million this year.
Okay. So Jacob has a big goal. Okay, so Jacob, let me ask you a question. What are the 5 things that you need to do that will get you to that goal? And if he stumbles, you guys can feel free to help him. If he hits a
plug me.
Exactly.
Get listings,
Okay.
show property, write contracts.
Lead generate.
Share property.
Yeah, show property.
Can we call that appointments as well?
Yeah, let's call it appointments.
What else?
I don't know, I guess we should probably throw 33 touch type thing in there too.
Okay, so would that be under lead generation?
Okay.
So, well, okay, so if you do all 4 of these things and it's your job to get to 10 million, there's another piece that you're going to have to do as a business owner.
Have a budget?
Manage the money,
Okay.
right?
Gotta track your goals.
Yeah.
Process, progress.
Okay. All right, so Jacob, out of these 5 things that will propel you to get, now do we all agree that these, let me stop for a second. Do we all agree that these are 5 things that will help him get to 10 million?
Yep.
I don't disagree at all. I think every single one of these things is critical. By the way, if you read the MREA, this is the key job descriptions, or the key job responsibilities of the mega agent. So well done, you've read your MREA. I'm impressed. Of these 5 things, which one is the most important? Which is the one thing of these 5 that gets you to 10 million?
Probably number 3, lead generator.
Okay, why is that, guys?
Opportunity.
Okay, well, let's just,
Without
Without
that,
that.
then the other ones happen.
Right.
correct, right? So without the lead generation, do you have any appointments? And without any appointments, do you write any offers? And without any appointments, do you list property? You certainly don't have money to manage, because that's at the end of all of them. They're all 5 important, and this one is the most important. Okay, so we all agree there. So Jacob, if number 3, lead generation, is your most important activity, is your one thing, what are the 5 things you need to do to make your lead generation happen?
Here's where we probably need to do the 33 touch.
Okay, yep. So you've got a database touch system to your database. Perfect. What else?
Make phone calls.
Okay, phone calls.
Yeah, we'll need a timeline to do that.
You are, I know just because I know your business, you're doing a farming system. That's lead generation, right? So execute your direct, let's say, call it a 12 by 12.
12, yeah, whatever.
I just came up with that 12 by 12 thing right off the top of my head. Someone should write that down.
That's why we pay you the big bucks, Jim.
You know, creativity is kind of my strong suit.
Manage database.
What else? Well, that's kind of, I mean,
Yeah, probably, Lisa probably hit it right, do something. with
growing
database.
it, adding to it, yep.
Manage the database.
Qualified, sorted.
Okay, so of these, do we all agree, let's stop for a second, do we all agree that these 5 things will all help him to execute lead generation? Right? Okay, so now of these 5 things, which one is the most important thing that will help him lead generate to get to $10 million?
Yes.
Why? Walk me through the logic, why time blocking?
You don't do that, the other stuff doesn't happen.
Okay, right? So you can have all the best intentions of executing your 12 by 12, but if you don't have time for it, let's be honest, when the fires show up, are you gonna stuff in mail envelopes?
No.
You know, are you, you can have all the best intentions of saying, you know what, I've got 10 contacts I'm gonna put in my database today because there are 10 new people I met. What happens?
They don't get put in.
That lender needs that amendment right now. And so I mean, does it feel urgent to do that? No, of course it doesn't. So that goes away. But if you time blocked, you understand, we're trying to just increase our odds of success, right? So if you time block, you stand a better chance of actually executing on what you need to do. Okay, now Jacob, since we all agree with you, oh, we have $50 for this, by the way, after we're done. That time blocking is the most important thing to help you lead generate, to help you hit your goal of 10 million. Now, what are the 5 most important things you can do to help you time block? This gets hard. This is why it's important to have somebody with you. I mean, Ann, you were a part of this exercise. When we did this in coaching on Friday,
Can you phone a friend?
hang on a second. When we did this in coaching on Friday, were there points and times where you and Questa both sat there and went, duh? I mean, and that was okay, right? And I even said, silence is okay. We gotta think this through. So, Jacob, you have 3 lifelines, as Christy said.
Nice.
So you can have 5 lifelines, 4. You have to come up with one.
All right.
How do we time block it? What are the 5 things you need to do to make time blocking happen?
Wake up on time.
Okay, schedule. Can we call it schedule? Because it's not just waking up, it's everything after.
Okay.
Because even if you wake up on time, if you step your foot out of the bed and you get off schedule, and I'm gonna make 2 out of these, because you're talking about 2 things. Number 1 is the schedule, number 2 is the habits. Right, the right habits.